everybody knew what was going on with Puffy for years. The higher up was doing to him. He repeated what they was doing to him. He does it to everybody else.
40 documents reveal some big names that were previously redacted, including former President Bill Clinton, his estranged longtime aide Doug Band, Prince Andrew, David Copperfield, and Jean-Luc Brunel, who, like Epstein, died while awaiting trial. Many of the names are of people not accused of wrongdoing, including Clinton.
I can say one thing. I showed it in Vegas, and there was 5 screenings, about 1,500 people that saw it. During the 5 screenings, each screening, there was a talking going on. And I was like watching the audience going, what? The second time it happened. Again, third time, talking in this one particular spot. And I'm thinking, what? Did we do something wrong or something? But so then one more time it happened. At the end, I was asking about the movie, and I asked them about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. And I went, oh, okay. Now I understand what we're up against.
Wow.
Epstein Island isn't the only sex island out there. And Tim Ballard.
Oprah Winfrey has long been a subject of public scrutiny, but recent reports have sparked a new wave of controversy. An insider allegedly revealed her ties to Jeffrey Epstein's infamous island, sending both social media and the press into a frenzy. As speculation grows about Oprah's possible involvement in the Epstein scandal, she faces mounting pressure to address these allegations. Questions loom. What did Oprah know about the island's notorious reputation, and how will she respond to the fallout from these troubling claims?
All this cools down. Whether it's him going to jail, him not going. I just wonder what people are going to say. Because, you know, I know Oprah had so many people on her show dealing with, like, I got to choose my words carefully, man. You two be, boy, they be. But when it's dealing with men and women, you know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The DV, you'll figure it out. The domestics.
Tonight's most startling allegation is that Oprah Winfrey visited Jeffrey Epstein's infamous island, where a number of suspected illicit actions reportedly occurred. Epstein was a convicted criminal who was well known for entertaining prominent people despite the lack of independent confirmation. Knight's allegation that Winfrey was one of these visitors has generated a lot of controversy.
How does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was Mike, not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, you know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats.
The late financier Jeffrey Epstein owned Little St. James, infamously known as Epstein Island, a private retreat in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The island gained notoriety after Epstein's 2019 arrest on charges of trafficking and abusing minors. It has been alleged that Epstein and his associates used the island as a venue to host prominent figures and engage in illegal activities, including the exploitation of underage girls.
I want to tell you this. I was in the same tier, the same cell that Epstein was on. And Suge, there's no way in hell that guy could have committed suicide on that tier. I was in there for 7 months. There's no way.
And coming from you, I know you didn't know the truth. And I personally didn't think he was going to commit suicide. But the thing is, he had from Oprah Winfrey to everybody on that island. You know, anybody with a weird fetish, and that's what underage kids was on that island, and everybody knew it. So it's not like it's a situation where all of a sudden maybe there's been a talk, and you know as well as I know, like you being on the same tier as him, he probably was going to tell it all. He helped himself, you know.
No doubt. No doubt in my mind at all.
They made sure he did.
Following Jeffrey Epstein's death under controversial circumstances while in custody, the remote location of his private island and his connections to powerful figures in politics, industry, and entertainment fueled widespread speculation and conspiracy theory as federal authorities investigated the island's role in Epstein's alleged crimes. Public interest soared. For many, Epstein Island has come to symbolize systemic failures in curbing the abuse of wealth, power, and influence to perpetrate heinous acts.
Jeffrey Epstein Island has one of the most disturbing histories in America. Nobody really knows the full truth behind it. The island was owned by millionaire Francis Sheldon. Him and a number of local men from Michigan, including this guy, Gerald S. Richard, ran a boys group on the island. So what would they do? They would fly kids on this airstrip to the island. Parents were told that the island was for fun and for the kids to relax. Keep in mind that this camp was literally ran for years. Well, eventually the kids started telling their parents that these counselors or teachers were actually behaving in very inappropriate ways to them. The kids were then told to go into these cabins where the counselors would tell them to take their clothes off and would even assault them. I'm running out of time, so please like and follow for parts.
After years of legal pressure for transparency, newly leaked documents have revealed a significant list of high-profile individuals linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Hundreds of pages of court documents identify names across politics, entertainment, and finance, including Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Kevin Spacey, and Prince Andrew. However, many of these connections appear to be limited to social interactions or business ties. Rather than direct involvement in Epstein's illegal activities, this disclosure has reignited public interest in Epstein's network, sparking debates about the nature of the relationships people had with him and fueling speculation about the extent of his criminal enterprise.
Explain what this is.
This is dungeon in a bag. This is the St. Andrew's cross. Changes into a bondage table, goes into a spanking bench, and it folds up and it fits in a bag. Hence the name, Dungeon in a Bag.
And do you know how many of these they found on Epstein's Island?
Unreleased records have accused a number of high-profile individuals, including former U.S. presidents, British aristocracy, and powerful leaders from various industries, with ties to Jeffrey Epstein. The revelation of Epstein's client list has undeniably intensified public scrutiny, sparking widespread controversy. As the seriousness of these revelations sinks in, calls for accountability and transparency grow, louder critics argue that the impact of this disclosure could be far-reaching, especially if those named hold political office or maintain close ties to politics. Their associations with Epstein could influence voter behavior, tarnish reputations, and potentially alter the political landscape.
Court papers were filed by alleged victim of Epstein's sex trafficking ring, Virginia Giuffre, part of a 2015 defamation lawsuit against Epstein's co-conspirator and ex-girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence. It contained evidence and testimonies by witnesses and some of Epstein's underage victims, including high school students who were paid $200 each for a seemingly unending series of illicit massages. However, these documents were misrepresented on social media as some kind of little black book, a list of Epstein's co-conspirators and clients linked to his involvement in the trafficking of.
Oprah Winfrey is a globally recognized media personality, mogul, and philanthropist. However, she has become the target of accusations and rumors regarding her alleged affiliations with controversial individuals. These allegations often center on her relationships with powerful figures, some of whom have been involved in scandals or legal issues. Critics argue that these connections raise questions about her judgment, intentions, and the extent to which she may have been aware of their behavior.
143 pages in all, transcripts of interviews, depositions, all part of a civil lawsuit brought by one of Jeffrey Epstein's accusers against Ghislaine Maxwell, his longtime friend and associate, who is now serving 20 years in prison for crimes that she committed with him. And yes, these documents have references to several of the very high-profile people that we know were associates of Jeffrey Epstein over the years. There are more than 60 references to Prince Andrew. There's the repeating of at least one allegation against him that in the past Buckingham Palace has described as categorically untrue. Former President Bill Clinton is also mentioned. As expected, he was known sometimes to use Jeffrey Epstein's planes to fly on humanitarian trips.
Oprah Winfrey has discussed controversies involving figures like Harvey Weinstein and Shy Diddy Combs, referring to these cases as pivotal moments in the fight against harassment and misconduct. However, her own relationships with certain controversial individuals, including claims about ties to Jeffrey Epstein, have drawn attention. Critics question the depth of her connections with these people, comparing her stated views on justice with her associations. Supporters argue that her comments and charitable efforts show her commitment to promoting positive change.
What's happening with Harvey Weinstein? I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening.
One of the most serious accusations against Oprah Winfrey is that she helped prepare children for Diddy's well-known parties. The issue surrounding Oprah's Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa has added to concerns about her associations.
Triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud, too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment.
The institution was founded with the noble goal of empowering underprivileged girls, but accusations of misconduct have overshadowed its mission in the past.
All of the girls went missing that was at that school graduating class and nobody is talking about it? I tell you why. Because you guys are protected and I don't appreciate it. I want you guys tap in, tune in, comment. If you guys know about it, talk about it, spread the word, share this. Those girls in Africa went missing. That was at Oprah's school, Oprah Winfrey. Where were these girls at? Has anybody found them? Why is there not enough coverage on this? But those 5 guys that went missing, RIP, definitely feel bad for them. That's a lot of coverage. Of course.
Jaguar Wright has openly expressed her belief that both Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein were involved in exploiting and controlling members of their respective circles. She compares their actions, claiming that, like Epstein, Diddy used his influence to manipulate and mistreat people, particularly in the entertainment industry. Wright also accuses Diddy of being part of a broader network involved in morally questionable and illegal activities, similar to those alleged against Epstein.
Out about it, and the employee was charged with 13 counts of getting inappropriate with kids. Turns out at least 6 girls aged 13 to 15 were allegedly systematically and ritualistically targeted. Oprah went on record saying she was going to look at the situation, but after her investigation, the employee was cleared of any wrongdoing, and some allege Oprah had a hand in trying to cover it up. But these incidents continue to rock the school, including a newborn baby being found unalived at the school, which some say was...
Suge Knight, former CEO of Death Row Records, has claimed that former President Barack Obama attended Diddy's controversial parties, which have long been the subject of speculation about illegal activities. While Knight's claims are not verified, they have added fuel to the discussion about the parties and the people involved, suggesting that Obama may have been more than just a visitor.
The most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't happen.
Although Knight's statements have not been substantiated, they have sparked further debate. His latest claim highlights how prominent figures from politics and entertainment intersect, raising questions about the blurred lines between responsibility and political influence.
I don't know about you, but I was pretty fascinated by what Suge had to say. First of all, I want to say the guy had told me there was nothing off limits. He didn't hold anything back. Of course, there were a lot more things I could have questioned him about, especially, throughout the rap industry. A lot of people we could have talked about. That wasn't my concern at this point. It was really about Diddy, or Puff Daddy, as Suge calls him. Some of the things he said, pretty fascinating. He talked about Obama. He talked about Clive Davis. What do you think about Obama? You heard what he had to say. I got to tell you this. He has no reason to make this.
Knight has also caused a stir by linking T.D. Jakes, a well-known evangelist, to Diddy's parties. Given Jakes' standing in the religious community, Knight suggested that he may have been aware of or involved in some of the alleged activities. Though these claims remain unverified, they have sparked debates online, with many questioning the connection between celebrity power and accountability in both secular and spiritual spheres.
It's a cycle that's been going on in the music business. Like, I never was at those parties, it's a good thing for that, but I never was officially a part of the music party life. I was in the music business, doing what I need to do to take care of me and mine. No more, no less. And I think all the stuff that we can share, it can be a life lesson.
All right, y'all, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So we back into it. So we got some information right now. Suge Knight recently got some video posted on his podcast of P. Diddy crying, begging, shaking his boots, begging for people to help him in his time of need. And this dude P. Diddy got exposed by Suge Knight. And then on top of it, we got some other video footage of Chris Brown basically mocking and making fun of T.D. Jakes, exposing him, because T.D. Jakes was saying, swallow, all this weird stuff that's going on in the industry with all this weird essay gay shit. Man, P. Diddy and T.D. Jakes are definitely some fruity, zesty people, and y'all be doing some nasty stuff behind closed doors. There ain't nothing to speak on, but Suge Knight exposed you, P. Diddy. You crying and hiding and begging. Man, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, we got more.
That investigators have found several weapons inside his homes. Several. They also have found videos. It's been reported that Diddy has collected images of people in compromising situations at his residences. TMZ now obtained this video inside his home in Los Angeles after the raid by federal agents. It's reported that Diddy is the target of a sex trafficking investigation that comes after he was hit with a wave of civil lawsuits alleging sexual assault and trafficking. I've also learned exclusively that Diddy is in Miami. Authorities know exactly where he is. They've been in touch with his legal team. Sources tell me he's trying to avoid the paparazzi, and they're telling me
we're probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call, because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here, because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this